Good evening, everybody, and welcome in here on the Buckeye Racing Network. I'm Tyler Bentley. Tim Henderson's going to be alongside me in the booth. He will be joining me here shortly.
I'm here.
And he's here. All right, welcome in, Tim. We're going to be here at Lernerville tonight with the League of Outlaws IMCA style stock cars. Down just about a minute left of practice. Cars are out here warming up, running the track in a little bit. The top of the board, let's take a look at him, is going to be Keith Hackney with a 1798. Second's going to be Jamie Massey here in practice in 1805, and these times are pretty close. Jordan LaFon in 1807, James Murphy in 1807, Jared Murphy in 1817 here. 14 cars have taken a time, about 17 or 18 here in the session. I believe all of these guys will make the feature tonight, which will be 30 laps just a little later on. Whoa, one off the banking there. Well, thank everybody here for tuning in. Always glad to have you joining us here on the Buckeye Racing Network. If you're in the chat, let us know you're watching. Let us know who you're rooting for. Tim, how are you doing tonight?
I'm doing wonderful. I joined as a racer on accident.
Yeah, you'll have that on occasion. Not a big deal. Practice just getting wrapped up here. We're going to roll right into our heat race action. So without further ado, let's go ahead and take a look at the grid here for heat number 1. On the front row, we know Tim's not going to be racing. It's showing him there on the front row, but James Murphy there in second. Third, it's going to be Rod Tucker. Fourth is going to be Thomas Levister. Fifth is going to be Chris Cox. Sixth, Christian White. Seventh, Matt Tejon. Eighth, A.J. Hunsinger. And ninth is going to be Jared Murphy. That's our starting lineup here. Our first heat. The cars are all lined up here behind the iRacing Pace Truck as we get ready to roll on here to the Great Lernerville Speedway. About 9 laps is going to be the distance here in this heat race. Interested to see these stock cars here. I know I'm going to be watching them for the first time here with the League of Outlaws in the IMCA style. Definitely interested to see how these babies race around Lernerville. I remember the early days in my iRacing career, I did run these cars quite a bit, but it's been quite a while since I've raced them or watched any racing with them. Working their way around.
I apologize to these guys running the league for messing up the grid order.
Well, I'm sure they'll work through it. Just was probably odd to them too. Green flag is out here. Heat number 1 with the League of Outlaws IMCA stocks. Into turn 1, Rod Tucker with the early lead, going to run the bottom side of the speedway. Chris Cox following him on the bottom. James Murphy working the outside part of the racetrack here early on. And James Murphy with a little bit of a slider down into turn 1. But Rod Tucker with the crossover out of turn 2 and into turn 3 here. The battle rages on for first.
He's right there. He just wants to make it slide as he goes in. He doesn't quite commit to it.
Murphy with a huge run out of turn 2 on the top. Now the battle's on for second. Chris Cox on the bottom, a little bit of a slider up in front of Tucker there out of turn 4. 5 to go in this heat. Tucker and Cox banging doors out of turn 2. Tucker big run down into 3 and up the hill into second. Cox looking for the crossover. James Murphy still out front. You see them there just on the left-hand side of the screen.
Oh, a little contact.
A little further back, you got Christian White in 4th, Levister in 5th, A.J. Hunsinger is running in 6th, Jared Murphy 7th, Matt Tejon is 8th. That rounds out the heat order. Still, the battle's raging on for second here in this heat. Oh, bumping and banging. I know they're 2 and 2 wide, back just a little further. There, Hunsinger's running the bottom part of the speedway. That's a battle for your 5th place on the racetrack. Moving up ahead, Cox did work his way around Tucker for second. That 515 machine. The green wheel covers that stand out there on the right-hand side. White flag already out here. James Murphy down through 3 and 4 on the top. Takes the heat. Chris Cox second. Rod Tucker is going to come third. Christian White 4th. Thomas Levister 5th. Jared Murphy 6th. Hunsinger in 7th. Let's take a look here at our starting lineup in the second heat of the night. On row number 1, on the inside, the 225 of Taylor Wineland. To his outside is going to be the number 19 machine of Jamie Massey. Row number 2, it's going to be the 25 machine of Colton Gum. And to his outside is going to be the 02 machine of Robert Floyd. Row 3 is going to be the 91 of Keith Hackney. And the 024 of Trevor Doyle on the outside. Final row, Jordan LaFon in the 144 and Matt Pridgeon in the 428. All right. 8 cars, 8 laps. Around Lernerville here in heat number 2. All of these guys are going to make the feature tonight. That's going to be 30 laps. Going to get to shake things out some more with other cars around them here in this heat. Two by two, field in the hands of Taylor Wineland. Green flag is out in heat number 2 of the night. The number 91 machine, that's Keith Hackney, all the way down almost in the grass there in turn 1 and 2. A little bit of contact with the 25 of Colton Gum. They settle things out a little bit. The 3 wide as it stands out of turn 4. First and second have settled out, and the battle is on for the 3rd place position. Robert Floyd, Colton Gum, Keith Hackney fighting for it. Hackney with a big slider of his own out of 4. The 25 of Colton Gum is turned around sideways. That's going to bring out the caution here in this heat. And it looks like the front end is missing on the 25 machine as well. Go back and get another look at this. Coming out of turn 4, just not a lot of real estate was left there. Colton Gum had 2 cars to the inside of him before he knew it. They just made contact with him and The one pushed him on down the racetrack. If I could see who that may be, I think that may be Jordan LaFon. Yes, that is there in the 144. Just kind of pushed him on down the front straightaway. So we'll get him racked back up here and see if we can get this heat finished out. Jamie Massey still up front. Taylor Wineland in second. Keith Hackney now third. We got about one more lap of pacing here and get them double filed up. What do you think so far about these stock cars, Tim?
Awesome. I love the stock cars. Mean a lot in my family. As I've had, well, I'll get back to that story as we're green.
Green flag back in the air. Jamie Massey. Keith Hackney now way down on the inside with a slider up. Can he clear? Not quite out of turn number 2. Massey assumes the lead, but Hackney's going to drive it hard into 3. Let's see what happens here. Big slider coming. Wow. And a crossover by Massey down the front. What a battle for first. Taylor Wineland's trying to jump in here and get a little piece of it himself, I think, too. Hackney with a big slider again. Deja vu just to the previous lap with Massey with a crossover and down into turn 1 and it's back into the lead. Man, Hackney almost hit the concrete. He was that low. Oh, couldn't quite make it there. Now Weiland's looking to get a run on the high side in third to see if he can challenge Hackney for second. And he's right there.
And some of these guys are running right on the edge. I don't know how they're keeping it there, but they're right on that edge. It's amazing. Some of the best.
White flags in the air. Hackney's got one more chance at this down through 3 and 4. Massey playing a defensive line on the bottom. Out of turn 4, Jamie Massey with the heat win. Keith Hackney second. Taylor Wineland's going to bring it home in third in this heat. How about that? Awesome sliders there. In that heat race, we're going to go ahead and get our grid here for heat, or excuse me, this is going to be our feature event, I believe. 30-lap feature event here. Starting on the pole is going to be James Murphy in the 65, and Jamie Massey to his outside in the 19. Chris Cox third in the 515, Keith Hackney fourth in the 91 machine. Fifth's going to be Rod Tucker in the 912. Sixth, Taylor Wineland in the 225. Seventh, Christian White in the 07. Eighth, Robert Floyd in the 02. Ninth, Thomas Levister in the 22. 10th is going to be Matt Pridgeon in the 428. 11th, Jared Murphy in the 1. 12th is going to be Jordan LaVon in the 144. 13th is going to be A.J. Hunsinger in the 33. 14th is going to be Trevor Doyle in the 024. 15th is going to be Matt Tejon in the 13. 16th is going to be Colton Gum in the 25. And that's going to round out our field here tonight at Lernerville.
Hey, Bentley, who's going to be your one to watch this race?
I kind of liked what I seen from Hackney there in that last heat with getting down low on the bottom and making those sliders work for him. I know he came home second, but I liked what I seen from him being able to use the racetrack to his advantage to try to make moves. Who do you got tonight, Tim?
Taylor Wineland in the 225, the white and blue machine. I think he's got something for these boys tonight.
All right. Well, we'll keep an eye. Those are our ones to watch tonight. If you're watching at home, let us know who you got your eye on as we are about to get underway here in the 30-lap event. Two by two in the hands of James Murphy, and the green flag is out and in the feature tonight here at Lernerville. Murphy, Massey, Wineland, Cox, and I believe that's Rod Tucker on the very bottom. Hackney, I think, was bumping around a little bit with these guys up front on the initial green, but they all gather it back in. Battle for the lead through 1 and 2. Massey underneath Murphy.
This should bring in the next crowd. The rest of those drivers should be reeling these leaders in with the battle.
Massey's really trying on the bottom. Murphy's got her wound up on the top, though. Unable to complete the pass there. Out of turn number 2. Skip back just a little bit. Taylor Wineland there in third. Chris Cox looking to stick a nose in for that third place position. Robert Floyd rounds out our top 5. I just saw there at the edge of the frame Hackney on the very bottom trying to make up those lost positions he had at the start of the feature. A little bit of damage.
Massey slides right into the lead. Wow, what a move.
And a fierce battle here for the lead. Murphy doesn't want to give it up, but Massey's going to have that momentum on around the outside. Jamie Massey to the lead. Just scanning back through the field, seeing if there's any other battles going on. It don't look like it. Way back there, Hunsinger working the bottom. Just real quick pan back here. He was working the bottom back there around 11th, 12th. Gets back up into line. Back up front. Jamie Massey's opened up about a half a second lead over James Murphy. Taylor Wineland there in third. 23 laps remaining here in the feature. 9-1-2 of Rod Tucker way down low looking to the inside of Robert Floyd. Little contact there out of turn 2. Everybody seems to be liking the top side of the Speedway as it stands right now. Massey entering really low and letting the car slide up.
That's very unique line to everyone else.
Yeah, I haven't seen really anybody else doing that down into turn 1. Let's see if he does it here again. And he's going to. It's working for him, so I think he should keep doing it.
Does it in 3 and 4 this time. Looks like he alternates high and low in 3 and 4. But he keeps running that bottom as you got Taylor trying to make a move on second.
Yeah, looking at our lap time chart, Massey has been the fastest car on track the past couple laps, but this time we switch around. Taylor Wineland, the fastest car on track. So Murphy and Wineland's not letting Massey run away with this thing just yet. Wineland looking down low. Nothing doing there out of turn 2. Just through the field here real quick. Chris Cox is 4th. Robert Floyd in 5th. 6th going to be Rod Tucker. 7th, Keith Hackney. 8th, Thomas Levister. 9th back here, the first time I've called Matt Pridgeon's name really tonight. 10th is going to be A.J. Hunsinger. Contact, Jordan LaFawn. Trevor Doyle. LaFawn's around backwards. That's going to bring the caution out. Now is at the tail end of the cars that was running. Let's get one quick peek at that. See, keep an eye on the 144. There was contact with Jared Murphy. More contact through 1 and 2. And then LaFawn just couldn't get it back going, and Trevor Doyle just ran right into the back of him and spun him the rest of the way around. Bringing our yellow out. Hopefully, between Murphy, Doyle, and LaFawn, none of their damage is catastrophic. I don't believe it is. I think they're all going to continue on here just fine. Looks like Trevor Doyle has taken some time in the pit lane, but he's on his way out right now. We're going to rack him up here for our first restart in the feature. Murphy's on the outside. He's been running up there. I'm sure he's licking his chops. If he can get a good restart here, he might be able to take that lead back.
So last thing our leader wanted to see was that yellow flag.
Back green and Massey entering low left front in the grass, lets the car slide up, but we're going to pan back 3 wide for second. Contact, more contact down into turn number 3. Oh my goodness.
They save it. They
No.
don't.
Oh,
They do. They don't.
Matt Pridgeon ended up getting turned around. Weiland was all but stopped sideways through the middle of turns 3 and 4 there. Let's take a look at this from Matt Pridgeon's point of view. I mean, you can see he's just running back, minding his business on the inside. We get down into turn 3. We'll slow it down just a bit. He goes way low on the speedway. And he's seeing the 25 here, and the 25 is all but almost all the way around. If it wasn't for Matt Pridgeon to get him straightened back out, he would have been stopped sideways, and then Pridgeon just gets turned the rest of the way around to bring the yellow out. We had 2 cautions in a row there. I'm curious to see if the admin single file this restart out or not. They might do another double before they go the single file route. Jamie Massey and James Murphy have had a pretty good battle so far here. Looks like they are going to double file this restart. Field 2 by 2 by 2. Massey's just looking for another good restart. Let's see when he decides to go. Trying to catch Murphy off guard. He's going to clear him out of 4 and down the front. Murphy not cutting him any slack, though, staying right on the bumper through 1 and 2. Don't look now, but the 912 of Rod Tucker with a big run out of turn 2 and down the back. I think that's going to propel him into 3rd unless Chris Cox is able to slide up in front of him. No, he is not. And Keith Hackney right on the bumper of Rod Tucker there in that 91 machine. Chris Cox left to work the bottom. I'm sure he's going to be looking to get up to the top side of the speedway as quickly as possible. But he's got
Robert Floyd takes the position away.
Yeah, Floyd filled the gap, leaving Cox down there to fend for himself. There is a gap behind Floyd. Cox can slide up into if he wants it. He does take that opportunity. Hunsinger's looking to slide him on the bottom. A little bit of contact, and Cox is up over the banking. He's still going straight. We'll look at him. I think we're going to stay green here. Hunsinger into 6th. Looks like Rod Tucker's trying to work the bottom. Keith Hackney around the outside. He's going to move up into 3rd. Oh, my. Coming to 8 laps to go in this heat. Or excuse me, we're not in the heats. We're in the feature. What am I thinking, Tyler? That just rolled off the tongue too easily, Tim.
Yeah, you got that sometimes. As Taylor makes the move for 11th around the outside. He's working his way back up through the field. Matt Tejon around the outside, looking to complete the pass on the 22.
Looks like he will do that.
Wow! Oh!
2 cars around.
It's Taylor, and I didn't get to see the second car.
Trevor Doyle in the 024. Man, and we were down to 6 laps to go there. That's going to make this next restart really crazy. Go back and take a look at that. Looking at the 024 of Trevor Doyle. He was running, looks like the outside behind Taylor Wineland. Big run into turn 3 over Wineland, and he just hit him and tried to check the car up, and it just spun the car out to try to keep from catastrophe of hurting that 25 machine. Gonna be sitting here with 6 laps to go. What could be going through Jamie Massey's head right now? Well, I know if I was him, and I don't think we've mentioned this, but here with the League of Outlaws, there is an entry fee, or I don't know if there's an entry fee into this one tonight, but sometimes there's even payouts, so if that's the case, it could be a little bit of extra cash on the mind. Pace lights are out. We're within 10 laps to go. Going to get a single file restart here. The top side's going to play a big role. You don't want to slip up on the outside. Massey's on the gas. Green flag's back in the air. Hackney looking for second on the restart. Big slider coming for Hackney across the nose of James Murphy. He's going to turn it back underneath of him, though, and throw a big slider of his own. Is he going to have enough? Oh, not quite. Hackney's going to take second. We got 4 to go. Hackney.
91, get the runoff, too, on the high side.
Yeah, Hackney's looking to get close enough to try to make a move. 3 laps to go now.
He's closing that gap.
That he is.
Running the same line. Is that going to stop the momentum of the 91?
Yellow, yellow, yellow.
Oh.
Try to see what happened. I'm looking maybe AJ Hunsinger there, that white 33A machine on the outside. Oh no, he just got turned. It looked like off of the nose of Jared Murphy, spinning that car out. Coming to a stop. Oh, and Taylor Wineland couldn't swow up the car enough and makes extra contact with the 33 of Hunsinger. Kind of a double whammy there for him, unfortunately. And it is desperation time here in this feature. Only a few laps to go. Hackney's going to have to make a move as soon as possible on this restart. Did we get the green there? It looks like we did go back green. Massey.
The green?
Yeah, I think they're going like it is. I don't know why it wouldn't be. Oh, now they're slowing back down. I am a bit confused.
The yellow's still out.
Maybe they were just catching up with the pace.
The base truck's back out there. The lights are off.
Okay, let's see what happens here.
They'll be taking the green here.
Yeah, pace truck looks like they're going to peel off this time. Massey's hard on the gas. Green flag's back out. We got 2 laps left. What can Hackney do here?
Hackney had just about an even jump with our leader. Let's see what he can do with it.
White flag is in the air. Gonna have to get a big run. He's gonna try to enter low. Massey's gonna try to play defensive here. I think that's gonna work to his benefit. Into 3 and 4. Massey, big defensive line. Out of turn 4, checkered in the air. Jamie Massey wins at Lernerville. All right. And what a run by Keith Hackney. You know, he slid back early on here. He was back around 7th, 8th or so, and just slowly worked his way back up through, coming home there in 2nd. And James Murphy bringing it home 3rd. Bringing her up to a stop here on the front straightaway. All right. Before we get our top 3 up here for an interview, let's go through the official results here tonight at Lernerville. Jamie Massey bringing home the win. Keith Hackney in 2nd. James Murphy, a good showing there in 3rd. Jordan LaFawn in the 144. And what a recovery for him, because he was involved in one of the accidents here tonight, coming home 4th. 5th's going to be Rod Tucker. 6th, Jared Murphy. 7th, Matt Tejon. 8th, Thomas Levister. 9th, Christian White. 10th's going to be Chris Cox. 11th, Matt Pridgeon. 12th, Taylor Wineland. 13th, Robert Floyd. 14th, Trevor Doyle. 15th, AJ Hunsinger. And 16th is going to go to Colton Gum. All right, we're going to get a word here tonight with our top 3. And first is going to be Mr. James Murphy.
Uh-oh.
James Murphy, this is Tyler and Tim up in the broadcast booth. You got a copy?
Yes, sir.
All righty, man. Tell us about tonight and how do you feel about that third place finish?
It was decent. I think I burned my tires up a little too much at the beginning. I was a little slow at the end right there, but well, I'll take third.
All right, I know you definitely liked running the outside. I know you didn't really deviate much from that. It looked like at times it was really beneficial to you.
Yeah, when I hit it just right, I was good. But I was playing it too cautious, trying not to go off the track.
Right on. Tim, you got anything to ask James?
I just want to say, what a wonderful job you did on that outside. What do you think the benefits are from running there compared to the low line?
You're just able to carry so much more speed down straightaways.
Just more momentum.
Yeah.
Alrighty. Anyone you'd like to thank?
I'd like to thank y'all for broadcasting it and leave Outlaws for putting it on and talking dirt.
All righty, James. Well, congratulations on your third place finish. Go celebrate it.
Appreciate it.
That was our third place finisher, Mr. James Murphy. All right, I'm not sure. Is Keith Hackney in the. We're going to see if we can get a word with him.
Yeah, I got him right here. Hey Keith, it's Tim and Tyler up in the booth. You got a copy?
Yes, sir. How y'all doing?
We're doing wonderful.
All righty, Keith. This is Tyler. How about that second place run tonight? I know we saw you kind of fall back a little bit there as soon as the feature got underway, and you just slowly worked your way back up and used all sorts of lines on your way back up.
Yeah, man. I think Chris got into me right there going into one. As soon as we got green and got me all out of whack, and we just had to play catch up, man. Like I guess that's the fun of it. This set with all this high air in the rear, it's definitely a game changer. Like, I mean, you gotta will it. And I was trying to save as much as I could just by trying to run the bottom or middle because I seen them. They was running the top side. They was sort of pulling away, but I didn't want to go until I think I needed to go. And yeah, I don't know. Honestly, I didn't really have a specific lap. I was like, you know what? I guess we're gonna try it. And we got in rhythm up there, and once I could hit the little berm and stuff in the corners, like I was able to drive off, and I was a lot better than some of the guys in front of me. And then on that one restart, I timed the hell out of it and uh, was able to throw a slider on James, and he went to try to do it again, but I guess I just had too much momentum in 3 and 4, and shout out to him for not doing me dirty. So much respect there, and yeah, man, it's just I enjoyed it. Haven't really raced a whole lot here lately, but it's always a blast, I guess, to come in here and run.
I tell you, I enjoyed watching you. I know I always got a kick out of you when you did enter really low and hit that berm on the inside. I know I always pointed it out, so it was really, really fun to watch you work your way back up through the field there.
Yeah, the line here, if you can run the bottom right, like if it's not so top dominant, like the bottom is really fast, and 3 and 4 is weird. Like you gotta like late entry it, and you almost like gotta get your left front on the grass on the exit coming out of 4 just to have some good speed. But uh, honestly, this is the first league race I've ran here without going over, and so I think that's a plus for myself because I can never run a race here without at least going over once. We used to have like a counter in Discord, but we didn't need that tonight.
Right on. Tim's with me here in the booth. Tim, you got anything for Keith?
Closing down those laps, the closing laps. You think there's anything you could have done differently to secure the win?
Messi, he's my teammate, and we've raced with each other for years, and we know what one another's going to do and when they're going to do it. I just honestly, I didn't think he was going to the bottom in one on that last lap. Um, I was going to throw a slider there, honestly, And if I knew he was going to the bottom, I would have railed the top, and then it would have been a doozy coming to the line. But I mean, he's won just as much and more than I have on here, and I I mean, I've finished second to him many times, and vice versa, him to me. So I'm not going to dirty him up. I might rub him a little bit. Hell, we're racing for the win, and he'd do the same to me. But I damn sure wasn't going to wreck him. So if he was going to make a mistake, he was going to make one. If he wasn't, then we was just there, along for the ride.
All right, before we let you go, is there anybody you'd like to thank?
Yeah, man, just all the guys at NLR and House of Speed, Papa Mike's Promotions, Mama Bear, Tunnel Vision by Hackney, Grip Hackney Live, um, y'all for doing a broadcast, and them for putting this on, and congrats to Massey on the win.
All right, appreciate you taking the time to talk to us. We'll let you go celebrate that second place.
All right, man, thank y'all.
All right, that was Keith Hackney, our second place finisher. Let's bring on in Mr. Jamie Massey, our race winner. Jamie Massey, this is Tim and Tyler up in the booth. You got a copy?
Got you, buddy.
All righty, man. How's it feel to come away with a victory here tonight at Lernerville?
Yeah, man, it feels pretty good. I thought them cautions was kind of sketchy, but we were pretty good. I was trying to save as long as we could. Get the lead early, but save. Try to run. I'm pretty good at keeping these cars straight and keeping them under me, and just trying to run my race and let everything else kind of fall into place, and worked out.
Right on, man. Well, you're able to, it seems like in the races we've covered here, to get out front and just keep the car there. And it always amazes me just how strong you are at working the different lines when needed to keep that car up front.
Yeah, like I said, man, I've been doing this for 7 years, and I've got a great group of guys behind me. So, I've always said this is you're only as good as your competition. Well, my competition every day is my teammates, and they're just as good as I am. So we set standards, to be where we're at, and man, it's been a long ride. It's been a hell of a ride. It's been a lot of fun. I had a couple teammates in there with me tonight, and that helps, far as we got good guys around us, which all them guys that were in that race, man, I've been racing with them past couple of weeks, and they're all really solid, and we race good together. So yeah, man, it's just I just knew that if I ran that middle in 1 and 2 for the majority of the race, that I would probably have better tires than anybody. I kind of figured that they were going to try to move around to get around me, and I like when they do that. So once you start moving around and going to the top, you're using your equipment. So I just kind of tried to stay pace with what I knew was working, and make them chase me.
All righty, Tim, you have anything to ask Jamie?
In the closing laps, I think we had a couple cautions. What was going through your mind, restart wise, and then while holding your teammates off and James off at the same
Well,
time?
Well, man, if you seen that heat race, you know me and that green 91, we're gonna race for the win. I mean, we always, no matter what, we're racing to win because he's my biggest rival slash teammate. We push each other to the max. I mean, like I race him harder than I race anybody on the sim, and he does the same to me. So I knew we were gonna get bombs. I figured we were gonna get bombs thrown at us there at the end, and so I kind of prepared for it. I got a good restart, went to the top in 1 and 2 the first lap, and I seen he was kind of keeping pace with me. I beat him a little bit off, and I was like, all right, well, he's gonna throw a bomb when we come to the white flag. So I just went ahead and knew that I needed to block that line, and man, when I went and won, like whew, the tires, I could definitely feel that they were not too good, and I can only imagine what everybody else felt like because I probably had a little more tire than them. But I went down there and had to counter steer a good bit and drive her up the racetrack, and we just held on, man, and it was a good night for us. Good points night, uh, hell of a race.
All righty, Jamie. Well, we appreciate you getting the word in with us. Go celebrate that win.
I appreciate it, man. I want to thank everybody over at NLR, House Speed, Papa Mike's Promotions, Heartland Harley Davidson 42 Graphics, Tunnel Vision by Hackney, Grip Hackney Live, and y'all for broadcasting this thing, and everybody over at League of Outlaws for putting this thing on, and we'll see y'all next week.
All righty. Thank you, Jamie.
Thank you.
That was our race winner, Mr. Jamie Massey. All right, what a night here in the League of Outlaws. Great racing all across the board, I think. I mean, I know we didn't get to look too much in the middle toward the back maybe of the feature runners, but it seemed like no matter what, there was always a battle up front in our first 5 positions. It was a lot of fun to watch. What's your takeaways from the night, Tim?
I wish there was an extra 10, 20 laps.
I think I'm going to agree with you because it was, you know, really good battling, and the 19 and 91 seemed like they were really turning up the wick there, and that battle was going to be coming alive if we had an extra 10 or 15 laps. There's no doubt about that. But looks like coming forward on the schedule we have the STRR IMCA style modifieds on Tuesday night. I believe they're running at the Chili Bowl, so if y'all would like to join us here on the Buckeye Racing Network for that, we'll be live around 8:50 on Tuesday evening. As we wrap up here tonight at Lernerville, I'm Tyler Bentley. Alongside in the booth is Tim Henderson. So long.